Well, another one of the January 6th rioters has been arrested for allegedly getting ready to commit a very serious crime. He was arrested for threatening to kill House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries. Court documents obtained by CBS News said Christopher Moynihan, no relation to the late great Senator Daniel Patrick Moynihan, but it says he was arrested on Sunday after saying in text messages that he planned to eliminate Jeffries when the top House Democrat spoke at an event in New York City on Monday. Moynihan was arraigned on Tuesday and entered a plea of not guilty. According to a court filing by prosecutors in the New York State criminal case, Moynihan wrote this. He wrote in a text message, Hakeem Jeffries makes a speech in a few days in NYC. I cannot allow this terrorist to live. Moynihan also allegedly stated, even if I'm hated, he must be eliminated. I will kill him for the future, the filing said. Now, we have people on the right, all the MAGA crowd, constantly saying that the people on the left are terrorists and that it's their language. They call the president a fascist, and that's motivating people to want to go out and commit violence and kill. But look at all the things they say about Democrats. They literally call them terrorists. Um, a terrorist and a fascist are two different things. A fascist is someone that holds power in political office. He may have been democratically elected freely and fairly, but he has a very draconian and authoritarian way of wanting to wield his power. A terrorist, on the other hand, is someone who just goes out and wants to kill massive numbers of people. So we have the Republican Party, all the higher ups, all the big muckety mucks, saying that the entire Democratic Party is a party of terrorism and murder and wanting to kill. So, in other words, if they ever want to clamp down and arrest Democrats and not give them due process and throw them in jail or torture them or whatever, um, their people who have been indoctrinated in this mess would say, yeah, why not? I mean, they want to destroy the country, so of course they're not allowed to vote, or so of course they should go to jail with no trial. They want, by definition, people who aren't Republicans want to destroy the country. That's what they're doing, and this guy took it seriously enough, allegedly, but we'll see what comes of the case. But they have evidence, apparently, in the form of text messages. But this guy took it so seriously. Look, if you believe the Democrats are terrorists and they want to destroy the country, then Hakeem Jeffries is one of the top Democrats. In fact, I guess the most powerful Democrat in the country right now. So he said he can't allow him to live. And he doesn't care if people hate him, the wannabe killer, the wannabe assassin. He doesn't care if people hate him. He's doing it for the future. He's doing it to save the country. He's doing it to be a hero among his crowd. In a statement on Tuesday, Jeffries noted that Moynihan had been pardoned by Mr. Trump on his first day in office and that many of the criminals released have committed additional crimes throughout the country. But Jeffries added that threats of violence will not stop us from showing up, standing up, and speaking up for the American people. Good. It's good to hear. But look, we have a president who loves criminals, and he loves criminals. He mostly loves criminals who support and love him. He will pardon criminals. He said these people were heroes. So this is the kind of hero he's talking about, a guy who's willing to assassinate the top elected Democrat in the nation because he's of the party of what the right is now calling the party of terrorists and the party of people who want to destroy the country. So it's all justified in their minds. So this guy who wanted to assassinate Jeffries, he's all good. He's all good. I'll tell you, I would have felt a lot more relieved if the FBI had found and stopped this guy. And when I first read the story, before I got into the details, I thought that's who it was, and I was hoping that was the case, and I was gonna applaud that and give them credit for stopping a guy who wanted to kill a Democrat, because that's not what we expect of them. And then it turns out it wasn't the FBI at all. It wasn't the Department of Justice. Nobody in the federal government did this. The state of New York found and stopped this guy. The state of New York, which is leaving me feeling pretty uneasy. Would the federal government have done this had they known? And did they know? I mean, on the one hand, if they knew, you would think that they wouldn't, because they're so biased and they're so determined to protect their own people, even if they're criminals, as the 1,590 rioters and insurrectionists who got pardoned testify to. If you commit a crime in support of the president, you're all good. You'll be pardoned, no problem. So, but if they had known, I would expect them not to do anything about it. But I would hope that they would. And if they had, that would have been great. And that would have been a bit of a relief, I think, for all of us, right? But anyway, now we don't know. Did they know and decide just not to mention it? Or did they just not know because they're so darn incompetent? And look, the top leadership of the Justice Department and the FBI and the Department of Homeland Security, all these agencies, they're embroiled. I mean, they're drowning in taking care of cases just to scratch the president's itch. I don't like this guy. He went against me 14 years ago. Let's go after him. Oh, here's another guy I don't like. Let's go after him. They're spending all their time, the top people in these agencies, the leaders of these agencies, that's what their time's being wasted on. How do they have time to even get down in the nitty gritty of the details of all these other serious cases like this? Moynihan was pardoned by Moynihan, sorry, was pardoned by President Trump 9 months ago, along with more than 1,500 other Capitol riot defendants who were granted clemency hours after Mr. Trump returned to the White House. Pardon your crew, and look what they'll go out and do just for you. I just came up with that. I don't know how I did that. Anyway, I appreciate you watching. I'm Jonathan Burton, and that's it for me today, and I will see you next time.